Independents, I'd like to wish Deputies Murphy and Shortall the very best in their announcement. Teacher, all is not well in this state regarding children. There are 39 children missing in state care. Just think of that. Second last week before we break up for the summer recess, 39 children missing in state care. We need another debate here on Tuesday. I see where one Garda sergeant and 3 Gardaí are suspended from duty and are indeed facing charges of professional coercive justice, burglary of flats and false imprisonment. And we see where a Tuesday employee, a police commissioner, is charged with forging a search warrant. Those are all very serious charges, and innocent or proven guilty by 100%, I agree with that, but all is not well with Tuesday. And we need an urgent debate here and question and answer with the Minister for Children especially. Imagine 39 children missing in state care. We walk in out of here and raise all kinds of issues. We had a children's referendum and we all have children's rights and everything else, and this charade going on. Missing from state care with no accountability, not a shred of it. We seriously need to debate this and have questions and answers with the Minister for Children. He says he has utmost faith in Tuesday. Never had missed a night's sleep over Tuesday, but I certainly don't have, and many more people don't have.
Thank you very much. Thanks very much to colleagues. Deputy Shortall and Deputy Murphy must be particularly delighted in their decision to retire. You've united the House, and it's a very rare moment, so maybe another historic moment in your trailblazing careers, and again, on behalf of the government, we wish you very well. Look, a range of issues there. Of course, all of these issues can be considered in the context of the Business Committee. We did have a bit of a discussion last week around, the Business Committee does go through a process, and we need not go through it again here every week. Obviously, members have a right to. Deputy MacDonald's point out, look, I think we all welcome the Labour Court intervention. I did outline in my earlier answer a lot of work I think has gone in by them and by the parties to get to this point, including talks that went on, I think, till around 11 o'clock last night. I have already met through the Leaf with both Labour union leaders and indeed business leaders as well. I mean, the Labour Court is the mechanism through which the state gets involved, and I want to see where that goes to. But I'm very happy for there to be a debate, obviously, on Aer Lingus should the need arise. Deputy Batchik, of course, we can have a debate on local government anytime, but look, when you become a minister, you don't lose your right to speak up and to speak out in relation to issues, and I think what Minister Higgins did was entirely appropriate in terms of sharing the views of business representatives with the City Council, but being very clear in all her public commentary, as am I in mine, that it is a matter for the City Council to decide when best to do this. We all want to see improvements to traffic congestion and to public transport, and we want to see it in a way that works. And I saw some comments from Dublin City Council officials last night at what I think was their monthly meeting to that effect as well. I do think at some point, I think a debate on broader local government issues is of course always welcome. Deputy O'Callaghan, I mean, there is no I'm not sure the phrase you used, but there's no kicking the can down the road here in terms of new housing targets. The new housing targets will be announced in the autumn, and the process is quite clear. Part one of it was today, with the ASRI publishing its research, helpful research about 12 different scenarios. Part two will be the draft national planning framework, which I know you'd agree will be an important part to go with it. I expect that to go to government next week, and then that'll go to consultation over the summer. And when we reconvene here in the autumn, there'll be an ability then, based on those two pieces of information, for the government to set out our housing targets for the years 2025 onwards as well. Look, in relation to Deputy Boyd Barrett, I'm happy to have a debate in the Housing Commission report, because I have questions to ask you as well. I'm not sure whether you support all the recommendations. I'm not sure you support the recommendations around supporting small landlords or the recommendations around the need for private financing as well. I'm being very honest, I'm not sure there's any party in this House that supports every single one of the recommendations, so some wrap themselves in the executive summary of it. So I look forward to getting into that bit of granular detail on this too. We can see best at the Business Committee. We have to get a lot of legislation. I can't hear you. It's up to the government.
We've been asking for weeks.
Yeah, well, we can consider the matter, but we need to obviously also look at what legislation needs to get passed here between now and the Dáil recess as well. But
that's not a yes.
Give it consideration. It's not a yes. It's a let's see. It's an answer of let's look at what other things need to get through the House next week as well. Deputy Murphy, Verona Murphy. Yeah, that's a very good piece of work that's been done by the Department of Justice, and it does highlight a real serious need for reform in a number of areas in relation to our family courts. I know the Minister for Justice is very committed to this. In the first instance, I might suggest that she could respond to you in terms of the next steps we intend to take. I'm very happy for that to be discussed. And again, Tuesday, the government's obviously always happy to consider that.
Are the proposed arrangements for the week's business? Sorry. He did say the Taoiseach said, was it about Tuesday? Yeah.
And now you're referencing it in the Dáil.
Where are the rights down?
They're in the Constitution.
Sorry,
yeah.
Please. Are